This podcast is made possible by supporters like you. Mahalo. And by Atlas Insurance Agency, Hawaii's largest professional agency, helping Hawaii navigate insurance solutions since 1929. More at atlasinsurance.com.
Aloha mai kākou. Welcome to a new episode of What's Going On? Start every conversation with that question. I'm Ron Mizutani, and today we're going to be talking story with a radio legend. I want to make the most of this opportunity, and welcome to the program, Kamasami Kong. You know what, Kong? I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
Well, Kong, welcome to PBS Hawaii. Welcome to the program.
Hey, Ron. Thank you very much. Nice to be here together with you. It's been a long time.
It has. On the streets of Tokyo, I think you and I were talking a story about Jake
That's
right. Shimabukuro's popularity.
Yeah. He took the world by storm, didn't he?
Didn't he? And Japan still loves him
Oh,
today.
absolutely. Every time he comes to Japan, it's an event, you know, because nobody on this planet plays ukulele like him.
Nobody.
He is the wizard, the maestro of the ukulele.
We followed him to Fuji Rock.
Oh, yeah.
And he did the national anthem. And, I mean, you've been to Fuji Rock. That place is like Woodstock
Yeah.
on steroids. And
On steroids, yes, exactly.
He had the place going crazy.
Yeah.
What a special talent. We'll get there in a bit. Before I go any further, I ask all of our guests this question, so I've got to ask it of you as well. I know you're an Ohio native, but what school you in?
I went and go to Rakain, Hamilton Taft High School in Hamilton, Ohio. Stay just a little bit north of Cincinnati.
You know, that's funny that you still know that when Hawaii people ask what school you went, they're talking high school.
Yeah.
Only in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes us unique, doesn't it?
It does. And we're all proud to be from whatever high school we went to. I can't say that I'm really proud of having gone to Hamilton Taft, but I know some of my classmates are listening, so I am proud to have been there and spent time with you in Hamilton, Ohio, just north of Cincinnati, famous for the chili.
That's right.
Cincinnati chili.
Cincinnati chili.
Yeah.
I also ask our guests to sing a few bars of their alma mater. Can you?
Let's see. Boy, Ron, you're
not alone.
I have no clue.
But your mascot was the...
What was I think a tiger.
Tiger.
The Taft Tigers.
Hamilton
Taft Tigers.
There you go.
It has to be alliteration.
Yes,
right?
it does.
I mean, whatever school you and go, it has to follow that alliteration thing.
Hey, thanks for playing along with that. You know, Kong, you gosh, I don't even know where to start. You're an icon here, and still back home. And you know, I know you call Japan home today.
Yeah.
But Hawaii is deep in your roots, isn't it still?
Absolutely. You know, being back home, I haven't been back since 2015.
Wow, before COVID.
Before COVID. I was traveling back and forth for many years. In fact, for 18 years, every 10 days, I was in Japan Airlines flight going from Tokyo to Osaka, Taipei, where I had coffee shops and was doing radio there, consulting and radio shows. In Osaka, doing live shows there. In Tokyo, doing recordings there. Then coming back here, home to go to see my doctor, my dentist, my broker, and the recording studio here. So I was living in a perpetual time jet lag back then. Traveling a lot, every 10 days.
But it's still very much, when you got here, did you feel that grounded?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. A friend picked me up at the airport, Donnie Martin, who brought me to this studio today. He's associated with Brother Nolan these days, and also prior to that with Mackie Fury. And and I've had a chance to get together with longtime friends. Last night we had a party, a KIKI reunion party. Noi Tanigawa came out, Gaylord Holomalia, Brother Nolan came, because we were playing all of their music. Of course, Brother Nolan with his Coconut Girl song. And Gaylord from Kalapana, I played all of their music. We played it on KIKI, KKUA, and I play it a lot in Japan, still to this day. And we had Susan Kunimura, Lori Kim.
Oh my gosh,
And Barbara
names.
Saito from Tom
Yes.
Moffat's office, who
Uncle
was the
Tom's
person who
right hand.
Yeah, Tom's right hand.
Right everything. Yeah.
Everything. She
Still
was-
got spunk.
Oh, she's definitely, she has got spunk.
Yeah.
And she could keep those guys in line. Not only the musicians, but the union guys who were setting up the equipment and doing the lights and the sound and all of that too.
Wow, I bet it must have been a real treat for you to go down memory lane, but seeing them again after all these years. And gosh, that means the last time you came here, Uncle Tom was still with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tom came to Japan for me to interview him. Barbara told me he especially wanted me to interview him when he came to Japan. So we spent an entire day doing an interview, which is currently on YouTube. So if you happen to look up Tom Moffatt, Kamasami Kong, you put those 2 words in the search.
Oh my gosh.
And the Kong Show, you'll hear the extended interview I did with Tom and how he relived some of his, retold some of the stories of his experiences here in show business, from Elvis Presley through to, who was it, Elton John? Elvis did the concert
He was a
around
live
the world,
concert,
right?
the biggest concert I ever watched. And
Elton John and Bruno Mars, he had so many great stories. Frank Sinatra, so
Yes.
many great stories to
he's
tell.
just sitting down with him like this, it was just such a treat. We miss him dearly.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
sure you do as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was really a great friend. And of course, fortunately now it's the Tom Moffatt Waikiki
Isn't that
show.
appropriate?
It is very appropriate.
Yeah.
And I think Tom is probably listening on his big, what do you listen to in heaven?
Gosh, I don't know, but it was Under the Stars.
Under the Stars
Under
at the
the
Waikiki
Stars at the
Shell,
Waikiki Shell.
where they belong.
Right.
I love
Gosh,
that.
what an iconic voice that was too.
Yeah.
And your trip down memory lane with Gaylord and Kalapana, and Gaylord still works with us at PBS Hawaii. He's our sound guy when we have Namele.
Well, he's the right guy. He's
he is the right
to
guy.
do it.
In fact, Chelsea, can you hand me that bag that you have, the goodies? Because I know how much Gaylord means to you.
Yeah.
Right? And he's a dear friend of ours, and Kalapana and the music. And I know that, well, when you go to Japan, or when he goes to Japan, he gives you some great.
Oh my
red wines.
God.
Yeah. So the red vines, which I know
Red
you can't
vines.
get in Japan.
Yeah, we can't. It used to be. Thank you very much,
You're very
Ron
welcome.
and Chelsea.
Yes.
Can you hear that package?
Yeah.
That's the plastic
But
package.
Chelsea's going to get a little
Can you
shot
hear
of
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this.
Yeah. And I saw the genuine smile in you, but Gaylord knew.
Yeah.
And he knows that this is part of your world.
And I was told, Kenji Sano is also a
Yeah.
member of Kalapana. We had a chance to do an interview in a sky-high restaurant, a real hoity-toity, fancy schmancy restaurant in Tokyo, and was asking, why is it that red licorice is not popular in Japan? Why is it we can't get it here? And Kenji said, because people in Japan thinks it tastes like medicine.
Like cough medicine.
Yeah, I guess.
I love them. I'm addicted to that, by the way.
Really?
My favorite candy. And if
Yeah.
you just happen to open it right now, I'd have one
You
with
don't
you.
mind?
No, I'm
Oh,
just kidding. You would take
okay.
that back with
Okay.
you. But
I was ready for sharing with the boys,
Oh, that's
That'd
cool.
be okay.
It would be cool to be sharing a red vine with Kamasami Kong. Kong, you and I know you've done a million of these interviews, but every time it's part of Hawaii, I'm sure there's a part of you that goes, because of the memories that you've made here, of the relationships that you've built through the years, relationships especially. What's that like?
Well,
Friendships.
you said, you mentioned going down memory lane a few minutes ago and driving around on the streets with Gaylord. He's been driving me around to Robin Mann's funeral.
Oh, yeah,
and,
she recently passed.
We miss Robin. And to other events. I emceed an event for Naleo for the Hawaiian Music Hall of Fame. And it's been like funeral to a show where I have to be really happy, and now to doing this TV show and the podcast with you. Yes, a trip down memory lane. So every time we're driving from one place to another, I'm looking out the window and I have my iPhone camera taking pictures of everything. It's like, oh, I remember that. Oh, well, gosh, I haven't seen this place in years. Oh, this looks just the same. Oh, this looks totally different. Wow, things have really changed. Who's that laying on the floor on the street there? What's going on with that? That part of it.
Things have changed.
Yeah, that part of it, everybody has told me that things have changed. So I don't know what can we do about that, but yeah. But driving down memory lane, we went out to Hawaiʻi, for Robin's funeral, and I was just looking at all the sights along the way. It's like, oh yeah, man, I remember going this way so many times. What a nice flashbacks. And I was taking videos and pictures of everything along the way too.
I bet you did.
That's
Did you
great.
get a chance to go by the Sheraton Waikiki? Check out Infinity? Those are the days, huh?
Oh.
That was the original moving company, back when disco was
That's right.
relevant.
Yeah, we
Right?
had Larry Fleece as our director, who went on to Hollywood, now
Yep.
working in Hollywood. We were just in contact the other day because there's somebody who does a website called Remembering Oahu. I can't remember the guy's name right now, but he's doing a great job bringing all these kind of stories back. And somehow Hawaiian Movie Company came out, and Larry Fleece jumped into the conversation. I said, "Oh, Larry!" So we started communicating again. It was just like reuniting with him. Actually, coming back home, I've had a chance to reunite with so many people. Wendell Ching, the drummer for Henry Kapono, Naleo, Marlene Tsai. It's just been Johnny Valentine.
Johnny Valentine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been, and you, Ron.
Yeah, well, thank you. Are you kidding me? I've idolized you, and you've been a mentor for many folks, and really paved the way for. I mean, you've done things long before they became relevant today. Social media. I mean, you were ahead of your time when it came to even how you communicated, how you did your radio shows. You still do your radio shows in Japan.
Yeah.
From what I remember, I think before COVID or even after COVID, you were doing it from your laundry room.
Yes.
I mean,
how did you know that?
oh, I knew that. we kind of all knew. I'm still friends with Ross Mihara, who does sumo.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But and Roji, his restaurant.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
that's the last time we saw each other. And we just lost Akebono, who's a good friend of yours.
Chad.
Chad.
Chad Rowan.
Chad Rowan.
Yeah, from Waimanalo.
You said Naleo, and you were fortunate to do their recent program.
Yes, they asked me to be the MC for their concert. They wanted me to fly in for that, for their 40th anniversary concert, because back in 1984 they were the winners of our Brown Bags to Stardom competition, and these ladies really took that to stardom part of the name of the program to heart. And they did become big stars, not only here in Hawaii,
Japan.
but in Japan, where they have tens of thousands of fans. And whenever they come over, they put on several shows in both Tokyo and Osaka, 2 shows a night for maybe 3 nights, 4 nights in each place. And people flock to see them because their performances are just so they're chicken skin experiences.
Yeah.
And they had Ariana Seiyuu, remember her, Miss Hawaii USA. Dancing for them, and I remember one night in the Billboard Live in Tokyo, I was watching their concert, and they were singing Waikiki.
I might have been there that night. I actually
Really?
traveled with them that one year. When I'm getting goosebumps with you.
Can you hear chicken skin on the
Popping
radio?
up. Yes, you can.
You can? Can you hear
Yeah.
that chicken skin on the radio? That's real chicken skin, because they had Ariana.
Yeah.
And they brought her out when they sang Waikiki, and she was wearing a long black velvet dress with little sparkles all over it. And when they sang about the stars in the sky, watching her dance, I had tears pouring down my face. I mean, it was like, oh, I gotta get home. I gotta get home. Grounded, yes, I'm definitely attached to the ground here, that's for sure.
That's a beautiful memory. So the girl, the wahine of Naleo, I went to school with them. I was 1 year older than them. But they were always in a place what we called corners up at Kamehameha schools.
Right.
And they would sing and harmonize, and we knew they were going to celebrate a terrific career. And boom, 84, local boys came, and the rest is history. We just recently had them at Halekulani as part of our PBS Hawaii programming of Naumele, and they sang the beautiful songs that they've sung for so many years, and the friendships and relationships are so very dear today. I traveled with them to Japan and Ariana to document some of those relationships that they've built and still exist today in Japan.
Their song "Flying with Angels," which was Lei Hua's song,
Yeah.
was played at Robin Mann's funeral slash celebration of life at Star of the Sea Catholic Church. I have a quick little story about
Yes,
Star
please.
of the Sea. You know, when I first arrived in Hawaii, I was working at KORL, and Robin popped into the station to do some business with somebody, and she brought her daughter Lori. And Lori was looking, she was about 10 or 11 years old at that time. She's now, 50 years old, so that give you some idea about how much time has gone by. And her daughter was looking in the window into the studio where I was working. And I saw this little girl out there looking like she wanted to come in, so I told her to come in. Anyway, after the show, I met Robin. We became fast friends, and she said, "Do you have a church?" And I said, I just came here, so I'm not really sure yet." She said, "Well, I want you to go to my church." This was back in late 75 or early 76. "I want you to try my church. It's called Star of the Sea in Waialae. And you go this way and you go that way." Mm-hmm. And I wrote down Star of the Sea, and I thought, okay. I didn't write the directions. I should have. Anyway, a later date, I decided to go out to Star of the Sea, and I thought would be easy to find. And I got out to Waialae, and I realized I totally forgot the name of the church, because a Catholic church should have a name like St. Mary's, St. Luke's, or St. John's, or something like that. It never occurred to me that it would be that. And I thought, I forgot the name of the church. I also forgot the directions because I didn't write them down. So I went to a gas station to ask one of the attendants if he knew where the church was. And he came out, he said, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yeah, I'm looking for a Catholic church in this area." He said, "Star of Sea." I said, "No, I'm pretty sure it starts with an S." He said, "Star of Sea." I said, "No, I'm quite sure it starts with an S." He said, "Brah, Star of the Sea." It was my first encounter with Pidgin English. Yeah, Star of the Sea.
I know you've been asked this question millions of times, but that's how your name came to be, right? It was somebody calling your radio station, saying, "Huh?" Right, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was using my real name back then, Bob Zix, on the radio, and the program director.
This is at KORL.
KORL, yeah. The program director said, "That name is no good for the radio. We're going to change your name. You're going to be Jack Stone." How's that, Jack Stone? I thought, Jack Stone sounds like a porno star or something like that. I don't want to be Jack Stone. Anyway, a stone sinks,
wow.
It sinks to the bottom of the pool. I don't want to be, I got to be something else. He said, "Well, you have until tomorrow before you go on the air to come up with a new name." And I thought, okay. I always thought a good radio name would have something to do with automatopoeia, like Nick Knock, Dan Ding, Ding, Bill Bell, hit the bell, or Seesaw. I thought Seesaw would be fun. And I came across the sound effect of a gong, and I thought, that sounds dynamic, and it fits in with all the various ethnic varieties that we have here in Hawaii. So, okay, I'm going to go on the air. I'm going to call myself Gong. So I put it on a cart machine, went into the studio that night, and a couple of times I call myself Gong, right? A little girl called in on the phone. We had 6 phone lines back then. We're taking a lot of requests, and we're recording them all. And whenever we would get a good one, we'd put it on the air. And she said, "Hey, bro, I'd like to make one request." I said, "Shoots, what you like?" She said, "What's your name?" I said, "I call myself Gong." And I said, "I call myself Gong." And I said it kind of quick because I was in a hurry. "Call myself Gong." And she said, "Oh, Kamasami Kong." I thought,
that's it.
Yes, that's the radio name I want. That's going to be it. Kamasami Kong. And that's how it was born.
I call myself Kong.
Yeah. And if you're listening, if that little girl is listening.
Have you ever met her?
No, I never. It was just a random phone call. I didn't even think about it. Because after she said it, I think she made the request. I pushed the button and hung up, and that was the last time I heard from her. I have never heard.
That was your angel.
She definitely. Somewhere, if you're out there listening to this, get in contact with me.
That would be something.
Yeah. No fake news, though. Come on.
Yeah.
I want the real thing.
Yeah. Besides fake news, I know you've had some relationships through the years, and we won't get into the political scene right now. But I know one of them included Donald Trump, and I know you've shared that story. You've met so many incredible people through the years, and you've visited and toured with people in relationships. But what makes you who you are, Kong? Because everywhere you go, your voice is iconic, right? But you've got this charisma, this charm. Where'd that come from? What was who instilled that in you?
The only person I can think of is Janet Markoff. She was my speech teacher and drama teacher at Hamilton Taft High School back in 1960, I think 65 or 66, up to 1968. And she was my teacher, and she always gave me a chance and encouragement. And I was in the drama club, and I was also around that same time when I got out of school. They let me get out of school a little bit earlier than all the other students, so I could rush down to the radio station, the commercial radio station in the town, and do an after-school party live on the radio.
Yeah, you were already DJing.
I was a DJ when I was 18 years old.
Amazing.
But prior to that, I had built my own radio station in my home using a wire recorder. Yeah, I had a little transmitter, and I was a ham operator early on, doing da-da-da-da-da-da-da, Morse code. So I had a transmitter, and I had a long wire antenna strung between the two trees in the front yard and the backyard. And I would, broadcast on that. I'd create shows the night before on a wire recorder. I'd be stealing music from radio stations that I would put into there. So when I was delivering papers I had a paper route at that time too. I would turn the wire recorder on, turn the transmitter on, and I could listen to my shows as I drove around to my customers back in the day. And I had a little printing press too. My sister had a little toy printing press. So I used to print little pieces of paper that said, listen to Bobby Zix on the radio. I think I was on 1240 on the AM dial. There was no other station in that area on that. So it broadcast all over the neighborhood. And of course, I got into a lot of trouble for that. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Without a license.
Without a license. Yeah. It's that thing they call a license. But you were an entrepreneur in that sense, and really a pioneer in your own world.
Yeah. But I think, where did it come from? I think, Ron, the biggest thing that happened when I became Kamasami Kong, I was no longer Bob Zix. So I could get outside of myself. I could become this new character on the radio who could do anything. Nobody could see me, and I was able to become Kamasami Kong. And I remember it was like February during the rainy season. We had a lot of rain, and I would say, we need to throw some virgins into the volcano. If you're a virgin, call in now and let us throw you into the volcano to stop the rain. And people would call in, girls would call in and say, hello, are you a virgin? Yeah, I'm a virgin. Okay, are you ready to be thrown into the volcano? Yeah. Okay, and then I would say, scream. They would scream, and I'd turn on the echo really loud. Ah! Hopefully this will help and the rain will stop. What a shtick, huh?
Yeah, what a gig.
What a gig.
What a gig. Oh my gosh. It's interesting that you refer to your speech teacher as your guiding light and somebody who pushed you in the right direction. It was my speech teacher at Kamehameha. I had two, because I spoke pidgin English, like no other, and folks could understand what I said. So Laura Lee Hayes, in my fourth grade year, I went to speech therapy, and she taught me how to speak standard English, but I was able to turn it off and on, but not when I was younger. And then when I got to high school, and Judy Naniole was the speech teacher there, and she said, you have this gift of gab, if you will. Mm-hmm. You just got to find your focus. And it was those two wahine who kind of guided me in that direction where I am today. So
I'm glad you
gave
gave them name credit.
Yeah, well,
absolutely.
they're both no longer with us. And I actually spoke at my Junie Naneole's funeral. I delivered the eulogy, and it was at that moment that I realized how much of an impact this lady had on my life. And I feel you when you said that story.
Yeah,
I feel you.
Yeah, there are teachers who are like that who really know how to bring the best out of you. They know how to reach inside your soul, and they know what to do in order to help you become whatever it is you're destined to become.
Correct. Yeah. The two other people who will say Naneole was their gift as well is my colleagues over at KITV at the time, Paula Akana, and the late Robert Kikala, who was a classmate of mine as well. We all somehow found our paths.
Yeah.
But she was, we had to go through her.
So it doesn't sound like you're speaking pidgin at all anymore.
I can, bra.
Hey, bra. What school you in, grad?
It's interesting that we came up with this title for this podcast, and we're in year 3 now, and we've got a good following all across the globe because there's transplants and people who've lived here and call Tokyo home today. Yet it's not meant to be pidgin, if you will, but that's how we talk.
Yeah.
And it's no big deal. It's not controversial. It's just how we start conversations. Right. And so you fell right into it as soon as I said, what school you in?
Yeah.
Yes, Hamilton High.
Oh, brah. We never speak that kind in Ohio. A lot of people in that area kind of speaking more like this, they kind of speak with a little bit of a southern Kentucky twang. It is Kentucky twang, because if you go down to Kentucky, that's where you get them Tucky apples.
Funny. Japan is home now for you.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm tired of moving. I've just moved too many times from Tokyo to Taiwan. I had a residence in Taiwan, in Taipei, and also a residence at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel for many years in Osaka. I was there for 10 years.
You lived at the hotel?
Lived at the hotel. They kept a room for me, I'll put it that way.
Not just a room, Kong. It was a suite, from what I remember.
How do you know that?
Trust me, I know
so much
of
that.
Yeah, you had your own.
I had a corner suite, with the window. I had not 360, 180 degree view of Osaka City. And so every night before I went into the radio station to do my show,
I
just look out the window and get inspired. It's like, yes, this is my city. I could see all the way from Universal Studios to the Itami Airport, and I could see the planes coming in. I could see the fireworks at Universal, and the city was laid out right in front of me. It was very inspiring to be able to look at that from the 31st floor of the Ritz-Carlton.
What a blessing! Yeah. But it's something that you earned and worked for, and now that it is home permanently, what made you finally say, okay, enough traveling? I love Hawaii. Hawaii will always be home for me as well.
Yeah.
Ohio will always be where I came from.
Yeah.
But Japan is home. What made you finally decide that?
Oh gosh. That's a good question.
You can't get red vines there anymore.
No, you can't get. but I found out that somehow we can get them on Amazon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I will cherish these red vines that you gave me in this plastic package. I think it was in 2015. I just wasn't coming back very often, and I had my home here. And it was just, I thought, I need to make a decision. I can't be traveling back and forth as much as I used to anymore. I was tired of traveling. I was living in a suitcase. I never knew where I was. Was it 6 a.m. or 6 p.m.? Because at 6 a.m., the light is about the same as 6 p.m. So when I would wake up sometimes, I wouldn't know if it was day or night. And I just realized I need to stop living in a suitcase and have a permanent residence. And in 2015, I sold my home here, and I decided, okay, I'm doing most of my work in Japan. As you know, here in Hawaii, the radio landscape changed tremendously, and there were so many takeovers by big companies in the USA, and there weren't that many jobs anymore, and nobody was looking for a radio DJ with a personality. the last thing they wanted was a DJ that they would have to pay extra money because he had a personality, because he had ratings and a following, right? Nobody wanted that. It was basically, the last job I did was with Austin Valley. I forgot the name of the radio station over on...
Yeah, was it Crater?
Crater,
yeah.
Yeah, and they had cards, right? Yeah. And there were announcements on cards that said, "You're listening to Crater with all your favorite hits from the 60s, 70s, and 80s." And that was the card. I was like, this is so boring. You read that card at 10 minutes after, the next card at 20 minutes after, and I thought, this is crazy. So it was
time.
It was time. And I had a great job in Japan, several great jobs, not only working at one main station, but doing shows for many other stations and recording albums as well. So I thought, I've always liked Japan, especially Tokyo and Osaka, and the infrastructure, the transportation system. You don't need a car in Tokyo. You can get to anywhere you want in the country, anywhere you want on this planet from your home. And all you need to do is walk to the nearest subway, which is just 7 minutes away from where I live. So everything is convenient. I'm in a beautiful area in Tokyo. Nishi Azabu is what it's called. It's in central Tokyo, Minato-ku, and very close to the Tokyo Tower, right across the street from the Grand Hyatt Hotel. So there's lots of entertainment, lots of great restaurants. I have a great doctor at St. Luke's Hospital. Everything is so well organized.
Yeah.
It's Tokyo.
Yeah. They have it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. よくできました。
よろしくお願いします。
はい。そう。僕水谷清です。
京都？
清さん。
清だ。
そう。水谷清。Yeah.
So Mizutani is Water
Valley.
Water Valley. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Tani. Water Valley.
Yeah. Not to be confused with Shohei Ohtani. Very different.
Yeah.
But he's taking the world by storm. Kong, we missed you here in
thanks.
Hawaii.
Thanks,
We really miss you. You've had such a major impact on a lot of DJs. A lot of guys grew up listening to you. You inspired them with your storytelling, your ability to connect with community and your listeners. Hawaii will always be your home too, pal. And I want you to know how much of an impact you've had on my life as well. And arigatou gozaimashita.
Mahalo, Ron. Thank you very much for saying that. And yeah, hontoni domo arigatou gozaimashita. It's been a pleasure to be able to spend time with you and your listeners, both here in Hawaii and around the world.
Kamasami Kong. Oh, good stuff. I can't do it any justice. My friend, be well.
Thank you.
Continued success and
Mahalo, Ron.
enjoy your red vines.